Moon shoes. These were marketed as mini trampolines for your feet, and of course the company didn't think of broken ankles when they created them. Instead they said, hey, here's an idea. Let's add springs to our shoes the size of blocks and encourage kids to jump in them. It's just like jumping on the moon, except you're not on the moon and you're most probably going to get ankle fractures. Parents suggested that the slogan for the product should have been, now your kids can break their ankles faster than ever before, thanks to moon shoes. Sky Ranger remote control airplanes. You would probably think that a radio-controlled airplane would be dangerous, because it could hit someone, but that's not why the Sky Ranger's Park Flyer radio control airplanes make it on this list. The reason is that these planes actually tend to explode, and nearly 50 injury reports were received around the world, mentioning results like hearing loss, minor burns and even eye injuries. Buckyballs. Buckyballs were super strong magnetic ball bearings that could be used to construct creative discs, sculptures. Unfortunately, these round magnets slipped easily down young children's throats, and when multiple magnets were swallowed, they had a nasty tendency to clamp together through intestinal walls and not let go. This could lead to tears in organs, blood poisoning, bowel blockages and possible death. Water ball. As of December 13, 2007, the CPSC has received 409 reported injuries related to this toy. 294 of those injuries were classified as suffocation or strangulation. One child passed out and hit his head so hard that he sustained a skull fracture, while another child was found bleeding from his mouth and nose, requiring CPR, and even 2 children have had lens implant surgery due to severe eye trauma, when the cord of the toy snapped back and hit them with such force that it shattered their eyeballs. Gilbert glass blowing set. If you've ever seen a glass blowing demonstration, you know it's a blistering hot molten glass and a hollow tube used to blow into a volcanic globe, and it's almost always demonstrated by an adult, unless of course you were a child of the 1950s who was given one of these Gilbert glass blowing sets. Luckily the set included a detailed instruction manual. Although the downside is that they spelled out different ways to heat the glass to a liquid state, which if you didn't know is 1000 degrees Fahrenheit or 500 degrees plus Celsius, and then encouraged children to conduct dangerous experiments without the use of safety equipment, toy guns. In October 2013, a sheriff's deputy in Santa Rosa, California shot and killed a 13-year-old boy walking down the street carrying a replica of an AK-47. The policeman thought it was the real thing and feared for his own life. Simple toys' imitation of firearms can play into a dangerous police matter. U.S. federal law since 1989 has required most toy guns to be outfitted with a bright orange tip on the muzzle or to have a brightly colored body. Unfortunately, this young boy's gun did not have these distinctive markings. Cabbage Patch Snack Time Dolls. Like something out of a Goosebumps horror novel, these dolls will mechanically chew any substance that makes its way into its mouth. They were originally supposed to pretend to eat plastic foods only, but they soon began feasting on little kids' fingers, and one girl who was virtually scalped along the back of her head, when a doll started gnawing on her hair. And the most chilling part, these dolls have no off switch. The only way to stop their rampage is to smash them into dust. Splash off water rockets. Spin Master already had plenty of other awful toy ideas long before this. In the late 90s they even made a toy rocket that could explode. Just like the real dangers of space travel. The splash-off water rocket used water pressure from a hose to build up energy until kids and hobbyists could stomp on the launcher and send the rockets flying. Sadly, at least 37 cases were reported of the rocket exploding from the pressure or otherwise flying off in unpredictable directions, causing lacerations to the hands and face. The kite tube. An inflatable tube that a motorboat would pull behind, and make it fly like a midair surfboard. Unfortunately, once riders were airborne they were given little control over the flying tube. Admittedly, a parasail mixed with an inner tube sounds pretty amazing. But unfortunately, with only hand grips to keep you from falling, flying to the height of a 3-story building probably wasn't the best idea. Kids weren't the only ones impacted by this incredibly dangerous toy. Austin Magic Pistol. In the 1950s, every kid likes to pretend he has a toy pistol, but only hardcore kids can wield this explosive hand cannon that shoots actual fireballs. It's designed to propel ping-pong fireballs by mixing calcium carbide with water, which then creates an flaming explosion, which, when you really break it down, is essentially a gun. Apparently in the 1950s, it was totally fine to sell these to kids, but I guess when you look at how many school shootings there have been lately, has anything really changed?